So here's a quick one about a husband and father who's presently in his mid-40s. He's been married for 20 years, known his wife for 30. Finds out that in the early stages of them getting together, when they're both like 18 years old, his wife cheated on him. But worse yet, she didn't just cheat on him with one dude, she cheated on with him with two dudes at the same time. In other words, a three-something. And now this is all coming to light, and he's questioning his entire marriage to her, his whole relationship with her. And there's been other clues along the way that she hasn't been so great. And naturally, she's handling, like a lot of gals nowadays, dismissing it. And now he's looking at the big picture. And there's a perfect example, guys, that you really need to do your homework on your girl before you commit. Commit in terms of a marriage, because my God, the type of things that can happen. And you must open your eyes and accept that anything is possible. Titled, Cheated on nearly 30 years ago and just found out. And a shout out to Brian for sending in this story. It says here, I'm so messed up and over an incident a long time ago. Why I'm putting my deepest, darkest thoughts in here, I do not know. Long story, I got married in 2006, and we've been together since 1997. I was 17 and she was 18 years old at the time. A few months after we started seeing each other, she was dragged kicking and screaming to visit relatives abroad. She didn't want to go because we were all loved up. Young love. Well, you're going to see it doesn't take her long to get over him. Well, a few years later, in an innocent conversation, her mother was telling how much of a nightmare she was on the trip because she wanted to be with me. One night in the hotel, her mother and my then girlfriend had a big fight in the hotel room, so my girlfriend went storming off to the bar. At 18 years old? Well, I guess if they're, say, in Europe or somewhere else where you could drink at 18, okay, no problem. Well, a while later, her mom went to make up with her at the bar, but found that my girlfriend was pouring her heart out to two gay men. Fast forward a few years, and my now wife said they weren't gay, and she'd gone back to the hotel room really drunk. Nothing happened, of course, and she went to her own bed. Sure. So the story is, this came out years later, and she was at the bar and crying to a couple guys that were into dudes. And went back, but nothing happened. But then finds out that, guess what, they actually weren't into dudes, they were straight. Oh, nothing to see here, move on. Yeah, right. She had a three-way with these guys. So much for her being in love with her guy back then. And by the way, did he hear this before they got married? About 5 years ago, I had a gut-wrenching feeling something between us was not quite right. I had the feeling she was playing away, no obvious signs. It was just a gut feeling. We had a really big conversation about my insecurity, and she assured me nothing was going on. Let me guess, she was calling him insecure for bringing these things up. I absolutely begged her to tell me if she'd ever cheated on me. Smack! Never beg. Don't be a mangina. Men don't fucking beg. Make her lose all respect for you. Either before or after we were married, and I would draw a line under it and find a way to deal with it. Smack! You'd find a way to deal with her cheating on you before or after you're married? What the hell's the matter with you? Have some self-respect. I specifically asked about the time in the hotel, and she insisted nothing happened. Sure, honey. Well, here we are all these years later, and the gut-wrenching feeling came back. I can't sleep, eat, or function in any way because my mind is in overdrive all the time. Again, I have no evidence to say she's cheating or it's just a feeling. Dude, you heard what happened back then. And even if it happened when you just start out in your relationship and you're 18 years old, your foundation was built upon that. And you knew something was going on. Why you married her, I will not understand why, unless I'm mixing up the timeline of revelations about what happened here. But this guy's wigging out because he's in his mid-40s now. He's probably, he's halfway through his life. And holy crap, was my whole marriage, my whole life a lie? That can happen to people. Well, a few nights ago, I brought up the topic again of the hotel incident. She admitted that she did have SCX that night with both of them. Okay, there you go. She's lying through her teeth all this time, calling him insecure for having this. This is why you gotta be relentless, guys. Divorce. This was a long time ago, and we were both young, and we'd not been long going out. So that was her excuse. The trouble is, I'm now wondering what else she's keeping from me. The line I can't get out of my head is, she said, I've never done anything with anyone since we were married. The trouble is, we were super serious in around 2001, had a house together in 2003. Yeah, The line, I never did anything since we got married. Well, if they were together in 1997 and then get married in 2006, that's a whole lot of time for her to have a lot of fun with other dudes. And since she's proven to be a liar and deceitful and a cheater, God knows how many sausages have been around her. And God knows if those kids are his. I gotta say this. Get rid of her. Well, one day back in 2006, I dropped in home from work unexpectedly, and she was in the living room with another man she used to work with. Let me guess. This is after you got married, so nothing happened, of course. They weren't doing anything, but the look of terror on both their faces when I walked in struck with me forever. When I confronted her about it, she said they were just having a catch-up where they used to work, and it was entirely innocent. It was entirely innocent. Why'd they have a deer in the headlights look on their faces? And why'd they have to come over to the house? Bullshit. Apparently, the look of terror was because she knew how it would look to me. I love her more than she will ever know. Smack. Oh, she knows, dude. And that's why she's been pulling this bullshit all this time. And I don't want to split up, but I need to know for my own sanity what exactly has been lying to me about for all these years. You really want to stay with her, finding out you already know she cheated on you. Even if you weren't married, even if it was the beginning of your relationship, she lied to you all that time. Even though, it seemed pretty obvious what was going on. After she confessed about the hotel incident, I'm now thinking she's lied about the other incident, and I can no longer trust her. I'm going to see a counselor due to my massive overthinking and anxiety that is causing me. My wife thinks I'm being ridiculous for being so hung up on the hotel incident, seeing it was such a long time ago, and it meant nothing. Right there. See? She's belittling him. She's diminishing him having a natural being upset about the whole thing. What does that say about her? She doesn't give a fucking shit about this guy. Now, I understand he's hurting and upset. And the range of emotions, midlife shit, was my whole relationship a lie. But you can tell this guy's, behaving kind of like a man, John, in many ways. You can see why she's lost some respect, a lot of respect for him. But still, he's a guy who doesn't deserve this. You can't stay with somebody you don't trust. You can't stay with somebody that lies to you. You can't stay with somebody that cheats on you. And you can't stay with somebody that diminishes how you feel. We have two wonderful teenagers together. She's a great mom and amazing supportive wife. No, she's not. Smack, God's sakes. It's been a while since I've had a video where my arm is getting a lot of work today. I just have a horrible feeling so much of my life is based on lies. No matter what she tells me, it's going to be her version of the truth. Brother, get out of it. I think the reason he's staying is because he's invested so much of his life. Think about it. If he's mid-40s, he's done it for almost 30 years. That's like 2/3 of his life. He can't barely have many memories without her. And he has two teenagers together. He doesn't want to break up the family. But dude, you really want to stay with somebody that treats you like this? Guaranteed. That wasn't her first rodeo. There's been many cheating incidents since. But you're never going to get out of her. Look how hard it was to get her out of her from the first hotel incident. And worse yet, with two other guys. A three-way with two dudes who she claimed were gay back in the day. Bullshit. But it's your life. There's your life, my man. But now knowing this and you still stay with her diminishing you and making you look like a fool and knowing that she cheated, guess what? She's going to think, shit, this asshole's going to stick around no matter what I do. I'm going to go F his best friend. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen, but you know my point. Women do not respect weakness. And this guy has displayed weakness many times, and he's doing it now. Best thing he can do in a situation, or any guy in the situation, is accept it's over, have some self-respect. I mean, what would your kids think of you if they knew you're sticking around for this crap, putting up with this crap, Talk to a lawyer, find out your options, get some therapy, get some help, work on yourself, all that, look at the big picture, and move on. Otherwise, you're in for a very miserable road. But you guys watching this, if you're in this situation, don't have to be like him, I mean, I feel bad for him. That's happened to him. It shouldn't happen to anybody. But now, if he stays with her and continues to be her whipping post, that's on him. I guess at that point, first time shame on them, second time shame on you. So we shall see. But anyhow, guys, the main theme of the whole story, aside from me slapping him and telling him to end it, is this. You really got to do your homework. And if things don't quite add up and you see red flags and you find out that everything's based on a lie, you get out of there no matter what. Good luck to this guy.